What's up, everybody?
How y'all doing?
What's poppin'? Truth on Demand in the building once again.
Yes, coming to you live.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, not live.
Well,
But
we tried to be live, but we was having
tried.
technical difficulties.
We
It's
tried.
not us.
So we just gonna record.
Yeah, so so here we are.
Yes. Okay, so third time's the charm. Tell the people how your week's been.
Like I said, I had a good week. My garden's been bountiful and full, okay? My vegetables are popping. My tomatoes are popping. My carrots are popping. All right? My zucchini is popping. My peppers, big popping. All right? I got a joke for you guys, okay?
Go ahead, let them know what's
all right. All right. So, why couldn't the pepper go to archery school? Because he didn't have an arrow.
I was going to give him a little minute.
No, I just had to get it out. I had to get it out right away. That was a good one, though, right? That was a good one.
Girl.
So,
I can't. This girl is like the queen of dad jokes. Like, this girl be having all the dad jokes.
No. All my jokes are, I'm going to start like a Tanya's Corny Joke Corner or something because, man, I be having the good stuff, okay? I be having the good stuff, all right?
They be alright. I give her some credit. They be alright.
Yeah.
They be good.
My jokes be cracking people up. But I told that joke today at my group. And so, yeah, like I had everybody cracking up. So, why couldn't the pepper go to archery school? Because he didn't have an arrow. I heard that somewhere. And I was like, I have to use that because it's so good. And I just love it. And it's just so cute and corny. So, I had to use it. So, I used it.
Okay, girl.
Okay. And then I told it to my plants, and they laughed too. So
come on, that's why they're so big,
right? That's why they're flourishing so much because laughter it makes the heart happy, and it makes you grow. And I just truly believe like laughter keeps you healthy.
Yes.
And so if I tell my plants like little corny, like funny plant jokes, like they do their little plant laugh with their leaves, like, and then they grow. So,
girl.
Yes, I'm a plant person all the way. If you know, you know. So,
okay,
yes.
girl.
But yeah, you got to talk to them. You have to pour into them just like how you have to like speak life over yourself. As people, we have to speak life over ourselves. And, we have to pour into ourselves good things and nutritious things and healthy things. You got to be mindful of what you're taking in and what you're feeding yourself. That's the same way I do my plants. That's the same way I do my garden, and so, and then I also, fill myself with things that I like and that I enjoy and that I love. And so I do the same thing for my plants too. And so I feel like my plants like a good little corny joke here and there because, I am also growing some corn. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm on a roll tonight, y'all. So, it is what it is. But yes, so I'm just really excited about my garden. Like that has definitely been the highlight of my week, among other things as well. But I'm just really because I'm finally starting to like be able to like, see the fruits of my labor. Like I was saying, and like pick my fruits and like not only am I getting to like just enjoy the fruits of my labor, but I'm also able to share it as well.
Indeed.
So I like that. I appreciate that.
I'm about to eat good from her garden.
I just thank God for that. So yeah, So yeah, okay. So I've had a good week.
Sis said she is not a snack. She the whole garden baby.
Period.
She can feed you forever.
Everything you need.
Period. Everything organic.
All of the above. So yeah.
So my week
got that juicy fruit.
Period.
But yeah. So what about your week? Tell us the good news, the good things that have been happening.
It's been a pretty chill week.
Do you feel 31? Cause you dang sure don't look. Bow. Hey. She don't look no 31. 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 Hey. So yes.
Yes, I definitely don't look or feel it.
Yes. Good news over here. Period. Who's popping? Not these knees.
Period.
Right.
But yeah, 31 has been my first week being 31 has been good. I had a really good birthday weekend. Thank you to everybody who showed up and showed out. Thank you for. It's important for me for people, especially when I like, because I don't hang around a lot of people, and so when I no,
it's necessary.
I keep my circle very very tight, and so when I invite people out within that circle, you know what I'm saying, like that means I got some type of love for you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For me to even have you in my presence or in my, around me, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't like I said, I don't hang around too many people. There's only so many people I like, energy wise, you know what I'm saying, that I love and want to be around and stuff like that. Like we just
so be careful with those energies.
Yeah, you do.
It's a real thing.
So I really just appreciated everybody that I love coming out and showing me love and support, because 30 was a really good year and I had a lot to celebrate for year 30, a lot of accomplishments. And so I appreciate everybody that came out and showed love and helped me not only just celebrate my birthday, but also celebrate those accomplishments. And I'm looking forward to doing bigger and better this year and just letting God move how he decides to move in my life. And we just gonna take it from there, just trust God with all our hearts and just trust the journey.
It was also Nova's birthday.
Yes, it was Nova's birthday too. It was her first birthday.
Yeah.
Nova accomplished a lot within her first year as well, and I'm just so proud of the book. I'm proud of the impact that it's made so far, and I'm definitely looking forward to the impact she will have with this upcoming year, because I got a lot of things that I am wanting to do that's coming up. So y'all be on the lookout for that. If y'all are not already following Nova Be Bold, follow Nova Be Bold at Nova Be Bold on Instagram and Facebook, so y'all can keep up with everything that we're doing, everything that's coming up, and just stay in the know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this has been a very good week. I've just been really grateful and just really happy, and I've definitely felt the love. That's one thing I prayed that morning, like, Lord, let me feel an overflow of love today. Yeah. This is the one day out the year where I can be completely and totally selfish.
Right.
I just want to feel the love that I pour out. Let me feel that tenfold. So yeah, I believe God answered my prayers. So thank you to those who showed support for me and Nova on our day. So yeah, that's it.
So tonight's topic, as I'm sure you've seen in the title already, we're just gonna hit it again. Boundaries versus walls. What side are you on?
Yes. What side you on, sis? What side you on?
I'm very much team boundaries, but I do feel like certain environments require walls.
Explain.
Okay, so me, I'm just gonna relate this back to this job that I had. You know, mind you, it was a job, not my career, not where I wanted to be for the rest of my life, not really with people that I even wanted to be seeing every day. And so you could just, for me personally, I could just tell, when I come in here, it's one thing for me to have boundaries, but when I come in here, I feel like I have to have a wall up, because if I don't have a wall up, all the stuff that is going on in this environment, it could possibly affect me in a negative way, or even penetrate me. And so I know that I have to protect myself a little more, um, a little more aggressively than I would as to opposed to how I would if I just, set some boundaries. Because in that particular environment, they didn't care about your boundaries. So it wasn't even like I could go into the, you know, into the workplace or like into the break room or, like into the cafeteria or whatever and just be like, oh, be be myself, because I could just tell like right away, like everybody there was just so unhappy and they were just very negative. Like literally on my first day, the girl, she's like, "Oh, are you new?" She's like, "Oh, you're gonna hate it here." Like
Dang.
on my first day, like I had barely been clocked in 5 minutes yet,
And she
so
already coming with the
right,
negativity.
like already, so and then also just from my observation, like I observed, like, okay, so let me sit back and see like who I'm dealing with and what I'm working with first, and then I will know how to conduct myself from there. I'll know how to present myself, when I come in from there. And so just from my observation, it wasn't really like I just have to let them know, like, hey, I don't do that, I don't do this, I don't, or I'm not okay with. It's just no, like I gotta come in here, I gotta do my job, like boom, 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 knock it out. Can't be too sociable. Can't be too nice. Can't be just can't be too like too friendly because then somebody might come back and be like, oh well, she tried to, like it was just a whole. It's just very immature, very petty, and so I did not feel safe there. So it was just like I don't even feel safe enough to be myself here. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start looking for another job. But while I'm looking for another job, I gotta be here and I gotta pay. I got to get this check and I gotta pay these bills.
Period.
So I'm gonna put this wall up to where you only get business Tanya. You only get professional Tanya. You only get clocked in on the clock Tanya. You only get by the book Tanya. Nothing else. And so for me, that was the wall. It didn't even, for me, I feel like I didn't even have space to set boundaries because it was just very cut and dry. It's like there's really no room for you to be like, well, where you can just like be free and like express yourself or express what's going on, because immediately it's like, oh well, we're just gonna terminate you. And when I realized from my, like I said, from my observation, like that's what I'm dealing with. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make arrangements to, you know, move on, because this is not how y'all. This was not included in the interview.
I did not sign the dotted line for this.
That part, y'all was like, oh, we're a family. No, you more like a dysfunctional, toxic family, more like an abusive, like passive aggressive, like 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 just the mental mind. I was gonna say this. I was gonna kind of drop the F-bomb, but that's what it felt
It's
like.
okay.
Like you're mind poking me all the time. Why? I don't. I peep game, and I'm not with it. So you get walls. You don't even get boundaries, because with boundaries, I feel like I can, like I can stretch a little more. Boundaries are a little softer. With walls, you have to come in and it's boom, boom. That's it. Ain't no shaking, ain't no moving, ain't no getting through, ain't no penetrating. It's so high you can't jump over it, you can't get over it, you can't see through it. There's no getting through it, because this is what it is and it's here to stay. I don't plan on moving it. So Walls are permanent, and your boundaries, certain boundaries should be as well. But even in your boundaries, like, you should still have room to like stretch and grow. You can grow in your boundaries. You can't grow when you're within a concrete wall.
Right.
And if you do, have you ever I don't know if you guys have ever seen um like, if you ever try to grow watermelon, you can grow watermelon in cinder blocks, right? And like the cinder blocks that have the hole cut out in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But if you grow the watermelon in the cinder block, the watermelon is going to come out literally shaped like the cinder block. So it's going to come out square,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And it's just like that, like no room to be anything else. You can't go anywhere else. And the only way to get the watermelon out is to either break the brick,
Oh,
to break the block, or like, beat
push
it
it
out.
out.
Beat it out. You got to force it out. So yeah, I'm very, very team boundaries. But I will throw up a wall when it's necessary, and when it's needed, when it's required of me. you know and so, like I said, it just takes, yeah, I have to observe and assess the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like going into battle, like, what kind of weapons do I need?
Okay.
Like, if I'm about to go into this fight, what type of weapon do I need to bring to this fight? Are we just throwing hands? Am I coming with the blicky?
So how do
Or
you
am I gonna get the blink
determine
blink?
or discern, like specifically when you need a wall or a boundary? Like how do you discern that? And like, cause you could, like, let's say for instance, you meet a potential business partner or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, new business partner, you never, first time meeting them, this, that, and the third, but it's something they said or something that they did reminded you of what a previous business partner did to you that
Mm-hmm.
hurt you, business wise, and now you're looking at this new business partner like, I'm immediately about to put a wall up because you said something similar to what, um, the previous business owner did, and they hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And so to protect myself, I'm going to put this wall up versus, um, okay, I
Setting a
recognize the
boundary.
yeah, versus I
Yeah.
recognize the trigger, um, but I'm going to address you on it like, hey, I didn't like when you said this and the third. Can we set this boundary for you to do A, B, and C next time? So how do you, when you come into situations like that, how do you discern which one to use?
Well, um, prayer is always my first go-to thing, but depending on the situation, like I said, it's my observation. I'm gonna address it. So if I set the boundary and I feel like there's no room for me to breathe, like, there's I can't budge within this boundary, because that's something I feel like, me personally, I'm not speaking for nobody else, I'm just speaking for myself.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't breathe within that, then a wall has to come, because after that, like, there's no budging, there's no moving,
Yeah,
because it's definite that
it's
that's what it is, that's
yeah.
who you are, and that's what it's going to be. So if I've made up my mind on that, then I'm gonna stand on that. I'm gonna be on
Okay,
that. And
10 toes.
yeah, so yeah, like, if I it like, if it is a trigger, I see something similar again, like, I'm gonna set the boundary, but and address it with you. But if later on down the line I find like you're still not even respecting this boundary that I set,
Mm-hmm.
that we sat here and we had a clear conversation, and I thought we had a clear understanding about it, because that's how you made it seem.
Mm-hmm.
But it, you know, from my observation, it shows you don't care nothing about it, no way. Well,
Like it's a wrap.
here comes the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we can move how you want to move from there. But I just know at the end of the day, like, I'm going to conduct myself accordingly, and I know that I took the necessary steps and precautions to make sure that I was protected but also I made sure that you were protected by setting that
Mhm.
boundary, because boundaries are not just for me. I take the other people into consideration
Right.
as well, and then, like I said, by me observing and assessing the situation or whatever it may be, the person or whatever it may be, that lets me know how to move forward from there.
Mhm.
So, and that's just me personally. That's just how I how I deal with things from my experiences in life and from what I've dealt with in life. So I know that this is what works for me. This is how I do it, and this is what works
What
for Tanya.
works? Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah. What about you?
So I know for me, like sometimes I can have a hard time with like discerning um whether I'm putting a wall up and I'm isolating and I'm, withdrawing because of whatever's happening on the other side of the wall, or if this is I'm setting a boundary, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I oftentimes have to go back to the drawing board and really just reflect and look within. Like, okay, Dev, like, why are you? What's the real reason why you're doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the purpose behind it? What's your intent behind it? And if it's based in something um, just only emotional, you know, then I'll be like, okay, then it's a big possibility that this is a wall versus a boundary. Now, and if I go back and reflect, and it's based like, yes, there's some emotion in it, but the foundation is logic. Like you said earlier, the boundaries are there to protect me and you, and it's supposed to give me room to grow and you to grow as well. Like, if we do good with this boundary and it's
Yeah, we
consistent
can't
on
stretch,
both
we can't
hands,
breathe.
on both ends, then we can expand it a little bit. We can loosen the reins a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so if it's based off of some emotion, but foundation is like facts and logic, then I can be like, okay, well, this was a decision based out of logic versus fear or emotions. And so then I can like determine it as a boundary. I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah, because I've done that before. So it's like, wait a minute, I gotta check myself.
Yeah, yeah, because sometimes we, especially me, like sometimes like I have made decisions out of fear, and um I enclosed myself to where nothing could get in, and I couldn't get out. I couldn't see over the wall or anything like that. I was just like, okay, well, as soon as I'm triggered, or as soon as you do something wrong,
They,
now the wall's up. Now you can't penetrate nothing like that. It's a fortress up in here, you know. Versus setting up like a glass. I don't even want to say glass. Like, what's like a strong plastic that can.
plexiglass.
You can say plexiglass, yeah, because you can see it's clear. The wall, the boundary is clear, um, and it's moldable. Plexiglass is moldable, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you melt it down.
yeah. A wall, you gotta break it, and you can't put it back together. Once that wall is broken, and that's it.
I think you could break. You can. I think plexi is like bulletproof, isn't it? Though.
Is it? Look, let me Google this before I start
Right.
using it.
This
But
is
y'all
that's
get
not our
the
birthday, but y'all know what we saying.
y'all get the point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I discern. I like to I do believe that I have been operating more out of, setting healthy boundaries um, with myself. And when I encounter new things, especially new things that scare me, um, I have to be logical and be realistic about what's happening what's happening in my environment in that immediate moment, um, and just be careful about, be mindful of the decisions I make in that moment, and just, make that boundary for me versus that wall, and just be really intentional with every little step that I take.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I hope that made sense. I feel like,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much how I set my boundaries and stuff. Now, what do you do when somebody breaks that boundary or even break through a wall? Because you ever heard that saying where
Go to jail. Okay, no, sorry. Nah, I don't go to jail no more, guys.
that's true.
This is true.
But you ever heard that saying where people be that's in love, they'll be like, I wasn't even looking for love, and here you come, you broke my walls down. And then you have like the Miley Cyrus song that I came in like a wrecking ball, and she riding on a wrecking ball, breaking down walls and stuff. Like, do you believe?
I hate it.
Do you believe that that
Man.
especially when it comes to breaking down walls, like when other people break down your walls, like what does that look like? How do you operate with that? Like, is that even feasible? And like not in like a worldly standpoint, is that like even feasible?
I feel like it it is feasible, but it really depends on the situation. It really depends on the situation and the circumstances, you know. Um, like, so for me personally, you know, like the way God deals with me, if I be like, I don't want to, like, I'm not, I don't want to deal with that person, or whatever. But I'll know, like, like he don't put this person in my path for a reason, but I'm just like, that's not really my cup of tea. That's not my thing. Like, why me, Lord? Like, I got this. I'm on stank mode right now, and you already know I'm not going for that. So like, why me?
Right.
It's really not a matter of the person um breaking my walls down, you know, or like, breaking through my boundaries or whatever. It's just really a matter of am I in tune, and am I in alignment to look like what God is telling me, what God is saying to me, what
Come on,
He is
alignment.
directing and instructing me to do.
Some of us need an alignment, y'all.
Yeah, realignment. So I've been in situations where that has happened, and then it was just really unexpected, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, like, like they broke my walls down or whatever. But really, it was like, no, I let God in, and I let the Holy Spirit in, and I let God use me, and I was obedient. um and out of that, God blessed my life. It's not like I didn't face any difficulties or challenges while whatever was happening or what was going on, but at the same time, like, I saw my life getting better, and I saw myself learning and growing and opening up and experiencing new things and seeing things the way I would have never had seen it before if I had not let some of those walls down and some of those circumstances and situations, because they were walls, or if I had not let them cross certain boundaries that I had set, not at that time, at that particular time in my life, not boundaries that I set because I was trying to protect myself and them, but it was really just to protect myself because I've been hurt and I don't want to be hurt again.
Yeah.
And or I've been stabbed in the back. I've been, Lord, I've been crossed, and just I've been robbed. I've been done dirty. all types of stuff. So if I set this boundary in place, then it's like nobody can ever get in and do that to me ever again, because this boundary is so strong and it's so solid. And then it's like, oh, well, I thought it was strong and I thought it was solid, and but you're on the other side, and now my life is changing and getting better, and like God is blessing me, and my heart, it was really hard at that time, and all of a sudden now it's all soft and I'm all feeling
You
stuff
feel it,
again.
yeah.
I feel pliable and like what happened to all my calluses,
right?
And what happened to I'm supposed to be rock hard, like and like unbreakable, but no, it's like okay, so really that's a in those situations I can say I have had to give all that to God, like God had to do that for me in those situations. God really had to do that for me. So, and it has blessed my life. Um, I had walls up when I met you. You know, when we became friends, because I had to have walls up because I had other intentions for us meeting. So you know, but then it was like, wait, is she really my friend? Right. So it was just, yeah, but and vice versa, I believe, so, but God, this is a God thing. God did it. Jesus did it.
He
really
to.
did. He had to, because man, the way I was going, everybody was about to get wrecked.
Listen,
but to God be the glory.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
I definitely agree with that. You have to let, the only way your walls can come down is you have to let God in and wreck those walls, and turn that heart of stone into flesh.
Right.
I was listening to you talking. I was like thinking, I'm like, who have I hardened my heart towards? Recently. And I was just, there's a couple people that come to mind. Don't do that. And so I haven't, and I'm now that I'm sitting here thinking about it and talking about it, I'm like, I haven't even prayed to God to even just allow me to really feel that. Yeah, to soften my heart towards certain people.
If it be His will. I'm a firm believer in, Lord, do this for me if it's your will. If it's not your will for my heart to be softened towards that person, don't do it.
Don't do it. So I'm gonna add that.
But if it's your will for my heart to be softened, please, God, do it for me.
Do what you gotta do, Lord, because I don't want to have a hard heart towards somebody, and there's something that you got me to do for them.
And if you already did it, Lord, allow me to accept the softened heart that you've given me.
Amen.
If you've already softened my heart, and I'm just trying to, no,
you running,
no,
you doing the,
Lord, help me to accept it.
Yes.
Help me to accept my softened heart that you have given me.
Yes.
So
because honey, I'm just like, I could be a little softer, a little more considerate or nicer, if it's in your will, Lord. Yes. Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. So
but yeah, I was just sitting there thinking about that. I'm like, man, like that's, God can't work with a heart full of stone, right, or a heart of stone.
Right.
We have to be pliable. We have to be. Our heart has to be flesh, because he gotta do what he gotta do.
Moldable.
Yeah. So we have to be mindful of the walls we put up around our hearts, thinking that we're protecting ourselves. You got to let God be the guard of your heart and protect your heart. At the end of the day, we can't do it. We don't. At least I know I do a terrible job at protecting my heart sometimes. Not sometimes, all the time. But if I allow God to lead the way and be like, daughter, don't do this, daughter, don't do that, then my heart is good. I don't have to worry about getting hurt or nothing like that because God is, in front of that.
Period.
He like, I got you covered, daughter. Ain't nobody coming for you in this part of mine.
Yes.
You are my bride, and I'm not about to let nobody hurt you.
Come on, Jesus.
And I just be like, period, Jesus.
Come on, Jesus. Not gonna let nobody hurt me. Yeah. And even if you do get hurt, just remember it's for your good.
Yes.
So that was a hard lesson
They meant
to learn.
it for evil, but God meant it for
our
your good.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
So, but
we'll have to talk about that too. Just that phrase alone.
Yeah. We'll hit on that on another episode.
Yeah. Because how
you
often
hear people say that so much. Yeah. Like, what do you
mean God meant it for my good, for my brother to get killed in front of my eyes?
They
like
meant
what?
It, but God, how? Where's the good in that? So
I don't see it.
We'll have to touch on that a little bit more on another episode. But so we're gonna go ahead and head out of here, you guys. But
yes,
we just want to remind you that whether you're putting up walls or setting boundaries, make sure that you are taking into consideration, like, are you protecting yourself and are you protecting others, or are you just keeping everything out and keeping yourself away from what's really good for you, what's meant for you, what's necessary for you, the things that need to get to you, the things that need to penetrate you, that can help to grow you, change you, that can help to give you new life. So just maybe take some time out to just reassess, like, are these walls that I'm setting up, or are these boundaries that I'm setting up? And if you find that these walls that you have set up are not really helping your life out in any way, and you're really not that happy, you're not as great as you say or you think you are, maybe do some self reflecting and evaluation. And if you find that, what, these are actually some good healthy boundaries that I've set for myself and it's working for me, but I've noticed that as it's working for me, it's also working for others too. Other people are blessed by your boundaries. Keep it going.
Yes,
keep
absolutely.
It going.
I agree.
Yeah. So we just appreciate you guys for tuning in with us. Thank you for being here, and yes, we will see you again next week.
All right. Bye,
Keep on the man out.